1984 is an iconic novel in the history of literature, and there's an UMSL Theatre production headed for the Kranzberg Arts Center by the same name. Joining us is director Matthew Kearns and actor Andrew Woodard. Thank you for being here. So 1984, I said to you off camera, were you in the stages of planning this during the election season? The answer is
we were planning it this summer, and then it just became exceptionally relevant.
Exceptionally relevant, if not like slightly almost reality, right?
Right. I mean, it was relevant when we picked it, and then the election happened, and I'm firmly believing that no matter what side you sit on,
Yes.
it just became so like exactly your life.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about, for people who, I mean, I think we use the term 1984, George Orwell's 1984 all the time in pop culture in our discussions now. I mean, but for people who maybe have not read it or aren't familiar with it, just give us an overview of the book and then how that translates a bit to the play that you're doing.
Sure. So the book 1984 is about a dystopic society that's been created where everybody is watched by cameras all the time in their houses, at their workplaces, and their entire life is dictated to them by this ominous creature known as Big Brother. Always seen but never present. Mm-hmm. And if you don't follow his rules, you disappear into a place called Room 101, and you either never get heard from again or they wipe your brain clean and start you over.
Okay, and so how does the adaptation that you're doing for theater, how close does it follow the novel?
It follows pretty closely.
Mm-hmm.
What they've done is they've pared down to we're in Room 101,
okay.
And they have taken 4 party members that play all the parts in the show. So all the characters you know in the story
mm-hmm.
are now going to translate being told through 4 different actors.
Got it. And so that kind of leads to you, Andrew. So who are you exactly?
Technically, I think we have 5 different characters,
Wow.
or something like that. So it's definitely an adventure figuring out how to do each one, but that's the fun of being an actor. You get to play different people, and that's the best part about it.
We were talking kind of about this broader context of the political environment in this country and really globally, but I mean, how did that, when you were preparing for the role, did that come into play as you're sort of getting into character? Not really, or are you really following the script more precisely?
Not particularly, because we didn't modernize it.
Okay.
So I didn't really think about that. I tried to picture what it was like back then, how we, because we kind of played in like the 40s a bit with the costumes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So
mm-hmm.
I try to envision what they would have acted like in a time like that. So
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is being done at the Kranzberg Art Center, which is intimate. And so how does that play when you're become a factor, when you're not in a big theater but in such an intimate space?
We chose this space on purpose
mm-hmm.
Because of the intimacy, and then what we've done is we've taken it and we've shrunk it actually in half of what it is. So it's only going to seat 60 people per
Really?
performance, and about 20 of those people are on stage inside of the room.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're really feeling it.
Totally.
And there's something you mentioned to me before we started that Andrew was involved in, not just being an actor in the play, but also on the set. You want to tell me more about that?
So there's a projector that will display a bunch of different videos or images of what one of the characters is feeling, the main character is feeling as he's being interrogated. And we got to work and we collaborated on what we wanted to show at certain points during the performance. And I think it adds a whole different element to it that, I mean, it completely changes the entire show. If we didn't have it, it wouldn't feel nearly as in depth.
Mm-hmm.
So,
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To me, the whole concept that I started with was the book was published in 1949.
Mm-hmm.
And it was named 1984, and here we are in 2016. So it's this whole math equation to me of 49 meets 84 in 16.
Yes,
So
cool.
the addition of video and the addition of today's world infused into what we thought 1984 was going to be, or what he thought it was going to be. And we've surpassed it.
And we've surpassed it. No, that's a great way of putting it. Well, it's 1984, and it's taking place at the Kranzberg Arts Center this weekend. So it's December 2nd, 3rd, 9th, and 10th at 7:30 p.m., and then December 4th and 11th at 2 p.m. This is put on by the UMSL Theatre Department. And for more information, you can go to kranzbergartcenter.org or get tickets at metrotix.com. But don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We're going to have more STL Live right after this.